Want to see it. It's funny. I always like to be funny on Instagram and stuff, make people laugh. It definitely had a purpose. I always say post with purpose. But this thing helped me out in in filming it because I created like 4 different scenes to kind of like, capture what I was trying to share with you in the video. And this thing was so easy. Like a tripod, sometimes you got to be like, oh, you got to set it up. But this thing was just like move it around. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do the scene over here. And then I'm going to do the scene over here. And if you haven't seen it, go to my Instagram. You got to see the reel. It's pretty funny. I hop in my bathtub. I'll leave that little hook for you guys. So anyways, and the reason why I'm doing reels is, oh my gosh, like I looked at the views on those things compared to anything else that I was posting. I think in less than one day, I had like 7,000 views. And I don't even have that big of a following on Instagram, you guys, but I had like 7,000 up to 7,000 views now just from posting this reel yesterday. It was insane. So I was like, okay, we're going to do some reels and we'll suck it up, Buttercup. It's nice to be with you guys. Hi, I'm seeing all of your comments here. I'm glad that you're catching live. This is really cool. So like I said before, is it better to be an influencer or a entrepreneur? And I learned some things recently, and I thought this was such a good topic to share with you guys. Now, this is specifically for you if you're doing business on social media, not just like wanting to get a following. Like if you are on social media and you are doing business, if you have products or services that you're selling, or you're wanting to increase sponsorships or anything like that, being on social, it's great to be with you guys. And if you think this topic would be useful to any of your people that you have around you and in your world, smash the share button. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, this is easy to do. Smash the share button and type shared in the comment section below. Get this out to your people. They'll definitely find value. And I pick 3 winners every single week when we go live on Tuesdays, and we call them my share shout out winners. And we pick 3 and we send you some cool stuff. And so I'm going to announce the winners from last week at the end of the call. So stay tuned for that and how you're going to get our Boss Up coffee mugs that I like to send out so we can be reminded every day to boss up in life and in business. But this week we're giving away something new. And so stay tuned and I will let you know at the end what we are giving away because it goes with the topic that we're actually talking about. So type shared in the comment section below. If I see that come through, Paula, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Morella, thank you for sharing. Paula, again, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And we'll take a look at all of the shares next week that happen on this broadcast and we'll put everyone in a pool. We'll pick 3 winners. So good luck and congratulations. And thank you for sharing. My name's Tanya Aliza. I have been an online entrepreneur since 2010. And if you have products and services that you sell, this is the place to be to grow your brand, to grow your influence, and to do it in a way where you make sales, but you do it in a way where you actually have a life. My favorite word is automation. And then my other favorite word is leverage. Actually, I got a lot of favorite words, but I love leverage and automation. They are my absolute favorite. We're going to be talking about that. Amy, thank you for sharing. Jamie, thank you for sharing. Angie, thank you for sharing. Josephine, thank you for sharing. I'm curious to know, based on the title, what do you guys think my answer is going to be? Is it better to be an influencer or is it better to be an entrepreneur? I'm excited to hear what you guys say. Chandra, thank you for sharing. Jennifer, thank you for sharing. Cindy, thank you for sharing. So as those come in, I want to explain to you guys some cool things. So I've been growing my business online since 2010. I come out and I share each week things that I'm doing or I'm working on or I've learned that have helped me grow my multi-million-dollar brand and business. So I'm walking the walk. I am implementing marketing and influencer strategies like every single day. I eat, breathe, and sleep marketing. I love it. You ask Christian, my boyfriend, he would be like, she doesn't go to sleep not talking about marketing. I love talking about marketing. So everyone's saying, I love the people who said both, by the way. Like, is it better to be an entrepreneur and influencer? Yes. But if you had to pick like one, I knew that that was going to come up because I was like, yeah, of course it's good to be like an influential entrepreneur. Like that would be the most logical, basic answer, right? So here's the thing. I believe that there is distinct differences between influencers and entrepreneurs. I was doing a case study survey just recently, and I went to about 100 different influencer accounts on Instagram. Success leaves clues, right? So I'm always looking for those clues on how I can grab tips and strategies to get better at what it is that I'm doing. That's how we learn, right? Is we model after people who are successful or who have the results that we want, right? That's the smartest thing for us to do. So what I did was I said to myself, well, I'm in learn mode right now, and I'm trying to gather more intel because I'm on this certain path. We've got some new programs coming out, and I want to make sure that I'm showing up my best for you guys, and also the best for me in my business as well. So I went to 100 different influencer accounts, and I'm really big on email marketing, like taking people from social media and moving them onto your email list where you can follow up and you can communicate with your people. Because when you're on social media, you're always battling algorithms, right? When you're on Facebook, when you're on YouTube, when you're on Twitter, when you're on Instagram, wherever you are, we are battling algorithms. And we shouldn't battle them. We got to work with them, but they're always changing and we're always having to change with them. And when we post something out there, not all of our following sees what we post. When we have an offer or a special or a deal or a new product or something that comes out, if we just do a promo or a post on our social media, our following that we've built really hard to grow on social media doesn't all see it, because of the algorithm. And there's only so much space in the newsfeed that there is. And we have to, Facebook only has so much space in the newsfeed. So even though I might have 80 some odd thousand likes on my fan page, or I might have, however many people, I don't know, if we're 23,000 people now on my Instagram, or almost 100,000 people now on my YouTube channel. When I do a post on any of those platforms, you guys, not everybody sees that, right? Unfortunately, my followers are only seeing a very small percentage of my posts. However, because I got smart and I decided to capture my subscribers and my people's information so I can stay in touch with them through email. And now we've got some cool things coming out that you guys are going to see in a couple of weeks as far as text messaging goes. But I will say this, it has allowed me to exponentially communicate better with my people. Now, I'm a big believer of building your email list. You guys are going to hear me talk a lot about building email lists in the next couple of weeks. Okay, so stay tuned. However, I went to 100 different influencers' channels, and I was looking for a couple of things. I was trying to figure out, how are they posting, and do they have like a certain posting schedule or certain posting categories or topics that's working really well? So I went to so I would Google, this is what I did, and this is great for maybe you guys to do in your market or your niche or your niche, however you say it. And you can go to Google and say, show me the top, marketing influencers, or show me the top, health and wellness influencers. Insert whatever your industry is. Google's going to bring up lists of people and blog articles that show lists of people. And typically those lists of people will give you the links to the influencers' channels, right? So you can go and look at, are they most popular on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. I was specifically looking at people on Instagram, by the way. So I would go to the Instagram channels of these influencers and I would check out a couple of things. I wanted to know two things. Trying to find out a good posting schedule, like what posts were they posting that their audience was loving most. And then the second thing that I was looking for was, how were they monetizing and building their email list and capturing their viewer and bringing them in. Those were the two things that I was looking for ideas on, and building these case studies. And so what I found was that 80% of these influencers were not building their email lists, and they were just building their following on social media, right? So you hear about this all the time, like, oh, I got this many views on my TikTok, or I got this many views on my Instagram reel, just like you guys heard me say in the beginning of the show. And you know what? It doesn't matter how many views you get. Like, it doesn't. That's not what it's about. It's not about how many followers or subscribers that you have. It's about how many of those people are converting. If you're online doing business through social, of course, how many of those people are converting into your world and becoming and turning into traffic in an audience that you own and control. All right. Because you don't own and control your audience on social media, by the way. You don't. Facebook owns and controls your audience that you have worked very hard to create. And at any point in time, accounts can get shut down. Maybe you did something that their policy didn't like, or maybe they changed their policy. We're hearing about this all the time, people's accounts getting shut down. So you don't want that to happen. Charles and Vanessa, what's up? Thanks for sharing. I appreciate you guys. So here's how to navigate this, okay? So I believe if we were to take a look at influencers and we were to compare them to entrepreneurs, and we were to ask ourselves, what is more important, becoming an influencer, becoming an entrepreneur? Here is what I have discovered, okay? Influencers haven't yet discovered the ultimate power of leverage. And I'm stereotyping here, so not all influencers this means, but like the majority of what I've found is that influencers out there have not yet figured out and understood and implemented the power of leverage. And what I mean by that is that when I'm looking at these influencers online, there's lots of people that are coming online like, I want to be Instagram famous, and I want to be Instagram rich, or I want to be a YouTube millionaire, or whatever, right? And then they get on, and these guys are really good at creating an audience, like hundreds of thousands of subscribers and followers, right? And then when you look at how they're monetizing, it's like, holy smacks, you're missing huge opportunity, like absolute huge opportunity. And if they were to just insert like what I know about entrepreneurship, these influencers would just dominate and crush it. Trust me on this, right? Go look at some of the influencers. I was following this one girl, and I was watching her YouTube channel, and she was amazing. And she had this vlog, and she had lots of great tips on doing video and doing YouTube videos. And then I would look in her descriptions of everything, and I would try to find like, how can I get more connected? Like, what can I buy from her? Like, how is she monetizing? Zero monetization, except for the only monetization that I could see that she was doing was she had her channel, her YouTube channel on monetized. So that means other people could run ads on her channel, and she gets paid for that, but she doesn't get paid all that much, okay? Compared to if she would have her own things that she was monetizing with. And basically she's taking all of that hard work that she's doing to capture these eyeballs, and she's sending that away to somebody else. And she's working hard. She's not, I mean, it's okay to send your traffic to somewhere else if you capture it first. And I want to talk about that. So entrepreneurs, I believe, okay, we seek out, and I'm an entrepreneur, by the way. I like to consider myself an entrepreneur. Influencer was never a term when I first got started. And now people are like, oh, she's an influencer. I do not consider myself an influencer, although maybe, yes, I influence people, but I still consider myself as an entrepreneur. The reason why is because I believe that entrepreneurs seek out to automate, delegate, or eliminate. That's my motto with everything, by the way, you guys. If something comes into my world and I don't love doing it, and it doesn't fire me up, and it doesn't excite me, and it doesn't fit my master plan, and I know that it's not going to be sustainable, I will automate, delegate, or eliminate it. Okay. So there's ways to automate a lot of what we're doing, and I want to share that here in a minute. So we understand, I believe entrepreneurs completely understand the importance of getting to, if you're not already there, getting to ultimate leverage in your business, right? And if I've got my like network marketers on this live right now, you guys know, give me a heyo in the comment section and let me know who you are, because that's where I grabbed my career start, was inside of network marketing. Love the model because of ultimate leverage in that business model. It's so beautiful and I absolutely love it. Influencers, let's compare influencers. This is funny. So I found that influencers, they do a lot of work. Influencers are working really hard and they're really thinking about brand deals, sponsorships, and ad revenue. That's kind of like how they think. And it's maybe because they just don't know what they don't know. And if you don't know what you don't know, how are you to know? So when I see these influencers, it's like they're trying to get exposure because they want to be found, right? They want to be found. They want to they want to hit their viral video. They want to be found, but being found and having sponsorships. I talk to these influencers all the time with hundreds of thousands of followers, and they still are like not making a lot of money. And I'm like, okay, we need to shift. And I want to share with you how to shift. All right. Entrepreneurs are focused on selling and owning their own traffic, right? So knowing that their business isn't Instagram, their business isn't YouTube, their business isn't Facebook. I use these platforms as tools to help get exposure, to help me build my business, but it's not my business, right? Because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm also thinking about like investing and things like that, right? Getting your money to work for you. And I believe that influencers are still very like one layer if they don't have a way to capture their own traffic. So let me talk about that for a minute. So, just to recap, like I want all of my people, yes, you want to be influential entrepreneurs, of course, but you don't just want to be like everybody that's operating online. Like we don't want to just be influencers. We want to influence for sure, but we want to be entrepreneurs because that's where the money is. That's where the business is. This is where like the real business minded people go. So let's talk about how to make this happen for you guys and what is most important. What's the most important thing when you're operating on social media, and then how to show up so that you don't miss any opportunities, because this is the big thing, right? And I used to operate my business back when I first got started in 2010 completely wrong. I was sending all of my traffic away to other places, and I'll explain that in a minute. And it wasn't until I learned how to capture my own traffic before sending them somewhere else that my business did a huge 180-degree shift. Because back before I learned how to do this, you guys, I was making about $56,000 a year in my business. Not bad. But then the year I learned how to capture my own traffic and then what to do with that traffic, I jumped from $56,000 a year to $434,000 a year. And then now, we're holding strong at about $2.1 million a year. So this is how powerful this is for your business. I love TikTok and I'm not going to say I love TikTok because I'm not on TikTok, but maybe, you never know. But I love social media, like, YouTube, everything, but please use it as a tool. And make sure that you're using it as a tool to feed your ultimate goal and your traffic that you own and you control. And I'm curious, by the way, as I'm talking about this, if you have an email list or you have a freebie that you offer for people to get on your email list that draws people into the topic of what it is that your products and services do for people, drop me a comment in the comment section and let me know. I'm curious to see who in my world like has an email list already and how they're building it and what they're offering to build it, because this was the single most important thing that I ever did and what I learned. So basically, you want to turn your traffic on social media to traffic that you own. You do this with having something that you give away for free, getting people on your email list, and then doing follow up through your email list. And I've got like a series of 3/4 messages on my email list that I normally send out to get people warmed up to me, get them warmed up to our testimonials of our products and services and what we offer, and then turning them into clients and getting them to convert into customers. And this can work for whatever business that you're promoting, by the way. It doesn't matter what it is that you are doing. You could be, I was joking, I say you could be selling peanut butter. This would work for your business. But I've worked with like real estate professionals, online course creators, network marketers, people that are in coaching, chiropractors. It doesn't matter. You insert the blank, this can work for you. So what we've got to be thinking about is what you can offer. And I talked about this last week a little bit, but I want to expand on this. What you can offer your audience for free that gets them excited about your products and services that you're selling and helps you to build your email list. These are called giveaways or freebies. I like to call it my freebie method. And you guys are going to hear me talk about my freebie method a lot starting next week because we have something really cool coming for you guys. But I want to give this to you. And then I want to give you some examples because I always like giving you guys examples on things. If you guys do me a favor, so we've got, Patty says, yes, I've got an email list. Paula has an email list. She offers a free detox guide. I love that. Allison offers freebies. And Paul says, yep, got an email list with an offer with a smiley face. I want to find out how to do lead funnels and email list. You just dropped your email list, Debbie. Okay, we need to have a talk, girlfriend. And it can be hard and confusing if you don't know what to do. I mean, I struggled with it for many years. And then when I figured it out, holy smacks, like it was worth it. But anything like worth it takes a little bit of, setup and work, obviously, but you need to make sure that you're doing it right. Deanna offers free templates. I like that. Cool. I want to give out free samples. Cheryl, yeah, stay tuned, Cheryl. Tune in because I don't recommend free samples. And there's a reason why. So stay tuned in next week because there's something better that you can do that will convert better for you and not cost you money because samples cost you money. And I don't want you to waste your money or your time on samples. I'm not like a huge fan of samples. Don't shoot me. Don't just the messenger. And I've tried it before. I've tried everything in my business as far as sampling goes, and sampling does not work. So here's, Evelyn, I love this. I have a few freebies. She has one that's 8 anti-aging tips, sun care tips, and a few others. Boom. I love that. That's awesome. So I want to give this to you guys this week, and then I want to prep you for next week. So this is going to, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this week I have this. Some of you guys might have this already, but if you don't already have this, I'm going to give you a link. So this is 20 giveaway ideas to get your prospects and leads to join you faster. Okay. Learn how to generate targeted leads like a boss. This is a guide of 20 giveaway or freebie ideas that you can start to think about. And then I'm going to show you how this leads into what it is that we're doing next week, which is really cool. So here, let me put the link up. If you're on my YouTube watching this, the link is in the description, but you can also just screenshot this as well, wherever you're watching this. TanyaAliza.com/248. If you're watching this, if somebody can post the link in the comment section below, that would be awesome, be helpful for all of us. But basically, I want to give you some ideas to stir around that you can work with. And then next week, let me just check my calendar because I keep saying next week, but I believe it is next week. It is next week because we are on, what's the date? The 15th? Yes. Okay. So next week, starting on the 24th of February. So you guys might want to mark this down. I have a free Facebook challenge group that I'm actually going to be doing it's for 5 days. And I am going to work with you in there live, helping you to come up with the best freebie idea for your business, whatever products and services that you're selling. If you are, and I don't care what it is, I'm going to help you name and construct the best freebie idea for your business to draw in and build an audience of engaged, perfect buyers for your product and service so that you can get primed and ready to build your email list. And I'm going to also show you how to do that in the challenge. This is, like I said, been the single most important thing. You guys notice, like if you tune in and if you don't tune in, go watch my other videos. Every single week for like 240 weeks, I have been offering value and then freebies in my business. And the reason for that is it works and it helps me to sell my products and services on autopilot. And it brings people to me that I can follow up with. And it makes my traffic on social media that I don't own, turns them into traffic that I do own and control. And I can stay connected on a more personal level and add more value with my people and make sure that my people are actually seeing my content. And it also builds my credibility and authority. You guys, before I was considered like an influencer. So this is a message for my people, my peeps that are just getting started. And maybe you're feeling like, oh my gosh, like who would pay attention to me? I'm just new in business. I'm not an expert. I feel like I'm an imposter out there. Like, how the heck am I going to get out there and sell my products and services on social media? If this is you, like drop me a comment and let me know if you're vulnerable enough to share this with me, because I was there at one point. Everybody is there, I think, at one point. They're there and they're like, when you're brand new, it's hard. And for me, adding value in the form of like a freebie, it immediately added credibility and authority to what it was that I was doing. And people then started paying attention to me and looking up to me and then considering me that like influencer. I do the air quotes on the influencer because I'm an entrepreneur. Yes. Okay. Thank you guys for being honest with me. Christy says me. Brenda says me. Wendy, Rita, Carla, Mokahina. Am I saying that right? That's a beautiful name. Nikki, Deborah. So there's so many people that are married, like Charles, like everybody feels like this at some point. But once you have something where you're like, hey, I spent like 90 minutes putting this thing together. It leads perfectly into, and I would say this, I mean, like when you have your own. You guys are seeing my freebie method in action, by the way, right now. See, it works. But I know what my audience wants. So there's a formula to figure out what your audience wants. I'm going to teach that to you starting enrollment for my free Facebook group next week will be open on the 24th. So mark that in your calendar and pay attention. Get on the email list because you'll hear about it first if you are. And, you know, you get to figure out, okay, I know what my people want. I'm going to create what it is that they want that will perfectly lead into helping me to sell my products and services. Because when you have somebody that says, hey, I'm interested, you can have a better conversation with them if you've delivered value and you know that they're actually interested in the benefits of what it is that your product and service provides. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm uber passionate about teaching this to you. And I used to be very scared, by the way, to teach this sort of thing, especially because a lot of my audience is in the network marketing profession. And I started there because I had a lot of success in the network marketing profession. And then I've gone on to add a lot of like online marketing training because I build my business online and people want to know how to do it. So I share. And so that's kind of how that evolved. And in the network marketing profession, people didn't want anyone talking about building an email list because all they want you to do is go out and do another TikTok or go out and do another post about your products and services and just say, hey guys, for your call to action, like DM me or private message me for more information. And although that works, all right, that isn't like a long-term entrepreneur, like true entrepreneur business move for you if you're not building your email list and moving people into a list where you can actually follow up with them. And so just imagine this though. Let's imagine that you had this freebie and you were giving it out and you had a list of like 200 people. And then your company or whatever you're doing launches a new product. And then you have a list of 200 people who are already interested in that. You can send one email and say, hey, check this out, you guys. We have a new product. And bam, leverage out your sales momentum like crazy. If you look at this, and I challenge you to do this week before you decide if you want to join us in the growth camp challenge that we're doing. Look at every, successful entrepreneur out there and see how they are doing it. Not what they're telling you to do. Okay. Not what they're telling you to do. Look at what they're actually doing. That's just my challenge to you. And so for the first time right now, I really am in the very simplest way that I can show this, because there's people out there that teach it very complicated. It can get crazy when you're talking about this kind of stuff. But I've dumbed it down to like a grade 3 level. And I said, okay, if I was teaching this to my mom, and you guys, just to put this into perspective, my mom is no techie at all. Okay. She ain't no techie at all. But if I was teaching this to my mom, could she implement it? And would she have a fairly easy time doing it? And would it work for her? So really, I really want to, step out of the box a little and share with you guys, like, this is what I'm doing. And I've been doing it for a decade plus, and it really does work. And I've been scared to like share it with, some people because, everyone just wants you to do another post on social because it's the easiest thing to do. But how many years do you want to be stuck to your phone or your device all day, every day, having to do another social media post or having to do another TikTok or having to do another this or that? It's all how you kind of like set yourself up. And entrepreneurs set ourselves up with automation and leverage and strategies that when we do the work once, it pays us hopefully forever. That's our mindset and that's how we think. So you guys, I hope you go and get the, 20 giveaway ideas to generate leads. Get that like absorbed as much as you can. Don't stress over it, because next week I'm going to work with you guys I'm going to share with you how I can work with you guys for free for 5 days to show you how to come up with the best freebie idea for what it is that you're selling. So this is just a little teaser to like get you warmed up to the idea. And if this sounds like something that you want to do, I'd be happy to help you do it specifically for your business. Jen says, do you recommend a platform like Jotform to give out the freebie, collect the email, or just post on social to DM you for the freebie, then you ask for the email? Jenna, great question. I'm going over that all in Growth Camp next week when we start talking about how you can join in. And I share with you all of my goodies, like all of the things that I use, how I keep it really simple, how I keep it really cost effective, because, oh my gosh, like it can get expensive. And if you're just starting out, you need some free options as well, right? Because I don't ever believe that you should spend a whole lot of money on your business before you're making the money to invest back in. That's really important as well. There's a little bit of money you always got to have in business, right, to start. But it's important to, yeah, Jenna, cool. It's important to make sure that you're making money before you're like investing a lot back into it. Otherwise you go in the hole, and that's not ever a good place to be either. So that is not my goal. Kimberly, thank you. I've been getting so many compliments on my hair this week because I just threw a curling iron through it. Before I go, we need to announce our winners from last week, you guys. We can't forget. And what I'm giving away this week. So if you found value in this live broadcast, whether you're on my Facebook or my YouTube, smash the share button. Make sure the share is set to public so we can see that you shared. Type shared in the comment section below. And what we will do is we'll enter you into a drawing for our share shout out winners that I announced. So last week's winners, by the way, I'll announce those and I'll let you know what this week's live winners are going to get, because we're going to change it up a little bit. But last week's live winners, if everyone in the comment section can do me a huge favor and give it up and share some love to Regina Parrish, Vernon J.M. Williams, and Christina Bailey. Congratulations, Regina, Vernon, and Christina for winning last week's Tuesday with Tanya. Share shout out. We are going to be sending you one of our Boss Up coffee mugs. And by the way, to get your hands on this, you have to email us so we know where to send it. So send us an email to support@tanyaaliza.com. Subject line, I want my mug, and then let us know your best shipping address so we can get that out to you. Now, for this week's share shout out winners, you guys, I am going to be, since we were talking about, is it better to be an influencer or an entrepreneur? And we kind of answered that question, right? We want to give you, I want to send you, I'm going to pick 3 winners, and I'm going to send you one of my favorite books called The Psychology of Influence. So the Psychology of Influence, and you guys type it in the comment section below or write it down, because if you don't win it, you still want to pick it up. And I've talked about it before, but it's absolutely a must-have if you're operating a business. And even if you're not operating a business, it's an absolute must-have, because it talks about the 6 human psychological triggers that gets people to take action or make decisions. And so it's important for you to understand what these psychological triggers are, so that when you are creating your freebies, when you're doing your social media posts, when you're doing your videos, when you're creating anything that you want to get people to take action on, i.e. buy your stuff or subscribe to you or whatever, you need to understand what gets people to tick and what gets people actually taking action, and taking action now versus later. This is one of my favorite books in the world. Like, think of the book, if you guys have ever read How to Win Friends and Influence People, think of that book, but on steroids. All right. It's something that I read all the time. Mary, thanks for sharing. Betty, thanks for sharing. Mia, thanks for sharing. Jolyn, thanks for sharing. It is one of my, Elvira, thank you for sharing. It's one of my favorite go-tos for sure, that you probably want to read every year to get familiar with it. And, you know, you're influencing people all the time in every area of your life and in your business, whether it is at home with the kids or your spouse, like do your laundry, take out the trash, you know, help with dinner, clean your room, or selling your products. Like, hey, subscribe, buy my stuff. Here's my recommendation, suggestion. It's all relevant to life in general. So it is a really, really good book. And I'm going to give 3 copies away to our shares that we enter into our drawing for this live broadcast. I'll announce those next week as well. You guys are absolutely amazing. I can't do what I do without you. Patty, the author of the book is Robert Cialdini, and it's like CH Cialdini is spelled like that. Or I think I'm saying that right. People say it in all different ways. I can't do what I do without you guys. I truly appreciate you guys tuning in and investing some of your time here. I hope it was valuable. I hope you take some of what you learned and you apply it and you implement it into your business and into your life some way, shape, or form. And then stay tuned for next week, because we have a really cool announcement where we can work together and I can help you on that journey of creating more value for your audience to help you sell more of your products and services. You guys are absolutely amazing. Make it a productive and profitable and amazing week. And I'll see you next week on Tuesday with Tanya live. Ciao for now.